for the awards, but it certainly is a magnificent effort.
Yeah, and if this is an indication of what we can expect the rest of the parade, and believe me, folks, we've seen what's coming, and it is. You're in for quite a morning's treat. And there's the theme, A World of Wonders.
It sure is, Pat.
These hundreds of young folks are from all over the country. And of course, there are thousands of people from all over the country throughout Pasadena today.
I think what we're hearing is the Pasadena City Police float.
I hope so, yes. By the way, the little floats alongside are decorated with all sorts of flowers, and I'm gonna try my hand at some flowers.
Oh, I thought
today.
you were going to pass it to me.
No, I was a little
appreciate
cowardly
that.
last year. I'll try.
All right.
Some I can't pronounce. Roses, I can say that one. The rest is up to you.
Calendulas, marigold,
I'll get the
iris.
next one.
Oh,
I could have done iris.
you could have done iris?
Yeah.
All right, do this one here.
Orchids. Thank you very much. I'll be displaying my flower expertise as time goes by.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And on it goes, hundreds of feet.
Oh, there, now we can hear them.
You're going to be hearing a lot of great music as the parade goes along, filled with bands, and we will attempt to be quiet occasionally and let you listen.
Yes, yes, we'll try to keep the patter down to a minimum. The little floats that are on the side are, each symbolize architectural and cultural symbols of the nations throughout the world. It's really a wonderful combined effort. Here we are. I think this is the end coming up, the pulling up the rear. This is the United Way float.
Well, those young folks have a long way to walk here along the 5+ miles of the parade route. But their enthusiasm will not wane, I can tell you. I've been at the end of the parade, and they strut just as spiritedly at the end as they do right here.
Hard to imagine the organizational nightmare it must have been to get everybody fitted for the right clothes, let alone on an airplane and here.
They did it.
They sure did it. There's a lot of heart in this presentation. I love this one. Marking their 36th Rose Parade appearance today is the Long Beach Mounted Equestrian Unit, riding beautiful, white-maned golden Palomino horses, led by Marshal Norbert Dean. These riders are all honorary deputy officers dressed in colorful Western costumes, complete with silver-trimmed gun belts, hello, and classic six-shooters of the Old West. Out of these 16 riders, 5 are related.
Wow.
So this makes them truly a family affair, Pat.
And the bonus question is, can you pick the 5 who are related? Game shows are my life, you know.
The Long Beach Mounted Police, Norbert Dean.
You know, Marky, for some reason, there is one particular float that I look forward to every year, and it's going to be coming up soon. Get ready for it. I'll just give you a little hint.
All right.
It is from Catalina Swimwear. That's it. I
understand.
I want to be sure everyone stays tuned here.
We saw the float, but we didn't see the accoutrement, did we?
And here
Speaking
it comes.
of the devil, Pat.
Yeah. It's called Cleopatra, Dawn of Beauty, again from Catalina Swimwear. And look at those accoutrements.
Portraying the legendary Egyptian beauty Cleopatra is the reigning Miss Universe, Barbara Tade from Venezuela, with Miss USA, Christy Fitchner, and Miss Teenage USA, Allison Brown, acting as ladies-in-waiting. There they are, Pat.
Lovely ladies.
Yes.
Strapped in there for their safety and comfort. But I guess I won't run up to the float. Those guys look as if they're there for protection.
Well, there is something for everyone on this float, isn't there?
Those giant Sphinx figures, by the way, say that 6 times fast, are made with chrysanthemums, corn husk, and dried seeds, I'm told, by the flower specialist here. And those flickering torches there, look at the way they turn. You can see a lot of animation on these floats. They're made of carnations and straw flower petals. It is amazing what they do. And, of course, everything has to be covered by plant life of some kind.
That's right. Everything has to be completely organic.
You know, they never return my calls. Everything but the pyramids on that float.
Yes. You know, they had to, those back ones are so high that they had to have them on hydraulic lifts to lower and bring them up and lower them to get under freeway passes to get here.
That's right. From the point they build them to the parade start, they have some kind of low bridges to get under, so they have to take that in consideration when they build them. Otherwise, they're in trouble. It is amazing how they get the realistic look to faces on these floats, and they do it with flowers.
Yeah. Here, making their 3rd Rose Parade appearance, comes the 200-member Burlington Teen Tour Band from Ontario, Canada. This group has recently toured England and France and makes nearly 100 appearances a year. Their director is Don Allen. Imagine playing in a band that takes you to France and England. That's a thrill.
I play nothing, so I can't even imagine playing in a band, actually. I guess of all the places a band can appear, this is probably the most coveted, and it's quite an honor for them to be here. The selection committee who does this,
Yeah. Ontario, Canada should be very proud of this band. That's a classic. This piece, I don't even know what it is, but you hear it.
You don't have to write us, folks. We'll look it up.
Chris will know what it is.
You know, we mentioned Cal Poly Universities earlier, and we wanted to see what they were up to this year. Well, this is the leader of the float here. And you'll see the whole apparatus coming up in just a bit. They have done it again this year. You know what they do, the Cal Poly Universities, they build them on separate campuses, the Pomona campus and the San Luis Obispo campus, and then they join them together.
That's right.
It's a total student effort. They, in fact, grow their own flowers.
They grow their own flowers. I think that's so neat.
Anyway, we have a group of playful penguins on this float, receiving a surprise visit, as you will see, from a submarine. And there we go. Periscopes up. Or up periscopes. I never commanded a ship. I don't know what to say.
Oh, that's adorable.
Now, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, weren't you going to say something about fiber optics and explain fiber optics briefly to us? Because all of these, the animation is controlled on board by electronic computers using fiber optics.
That's right.
We'd like a brief, succinct little description of that, if you would, Pat.
Well, fiber optics, to put it in layman's terms, are fibers that are optical. Thanks a lot for that information. I appreciate that. All right.
Why did Okay, next. Oh, these are the members of the Freddie Lee Miller Arabian Equestrian Group, led by Freddie Lee Miller.
Makes sense.
Dressed resplendently, I've always loved that word, in colorful Arabian costumes. These riders are portraying the 12th century Sultan of Saladin, ruler of all America, of all Arabia.
Yeah.
Hello.
They can rule whatever they want.
With his royal court, yes. Yeah. Sultan of Saladin, ruler of Arabia.
It's one of the oldest breeds known, the horses, that is, and in fact, many of them starred in early cowboy movies, and they're run by fiber optics, too.
They're beautiful, too, and the costumes are beautiful.
I'm told the horses are fitted with special shoes to kind of make things a little easier for them along the parade route.
That makes sense because the pavement is hard on horses with horseshoes on. Look at their beautiful, beautiful. They have had manicures. They showed their hooves, and they had beautiful manicures on their hooves.
Yeah, I guess it would be a pedicure.
Of course.
Think about that for a moment. Well, next up, the Unocal Corporation salutes the splendor of Thailand with this ornate presentation of that nation's beauty, and it is beautiful. Yes, authentically costumed Thai dancers are aboard, performing on rotating stages. And they have royal barges gliding back and forth past an ornate structure styled after the Thai Royal Palace. We have eucalyptus there. We have silverleaf, and seeds, and all sorts of
Dendrobium orchids. I learned to pronounce that for this.
Dendrobium orchids.
Dendrobium orchids.
That comes up again. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country, and they've really captured the spirit of Thailand on this float.
It's true. Look at the detail on that face.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Thought it was our director. I'm sorry. Off they go, the splendor of Thailand.
Yes. Well, Pat, who better could represent today's parade theme of a world of wonders than a man who's recognized worldwide for his athletic accomplishments, television and motion picture appearances. Here's this year's Grand Marshal of the Tournament of Roses, Pele, riding in a handsome Landau carriage of German design with his brother Jair. He seemed like a nice man.
I am very honored to have been selected as Grand Marshal of this wonderful tournament of the Rose Parade here today. From the people of my country, Brazil, and my family, to all the family of the world, I wish Happy New Year.
Very nice gentleman. Enjoyed meeting him earlier.
Yes, he's seen it.
And the crowd loves him.
Yes, they do. Have you seen him? He's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
And
I wish he'd do a little flip for us and throw a ball over his head. And now here's another sports superstar, Merlin Olsen, with a few thoughts about today's upcoming game.
A lot of proud moms and dads, and cousins and uncles and aunts looking in.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that before, have you? Feather fans in a band?
It's a nice touch, actually.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Oddfellows and Rebecca's presenting this magnificent mirage, taking today's viewers to a lush desert oasis where swaying palms and beautiful detailed desert tents rise from the drifting sand. Hard to do drifting sand out of flowers and seeds,
yeah.
but they've done it. You know, we saw some of the intricate designs that they were putting together when we did the float visiting a couple of days ago, and now they have them on there. And I'll tell you, a lot of work involved, a lot of folks, young and old, volunteering their efforts, and they look great. All painstakingly crafted from thousands and thousands of petals and seeds.
Everybody.
I'm sorry, but I want to say that this organization is terrific. They support 60 homes providing care for orphan children and the ages throughout the U.S. and Canada, the Oddfellows and Rebecca's.
Good for them. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. Here come members of the American Miniature Horse Association. These miniature horses are not ponies. They are true horses bred down to size since the 17th century. These mounts were originally highly valued pets of the European royalty. Can you imagine house training them? And their handlers are dressed in costumes of this period. And how about this, Pat? Listen to this. When traveling by airplane, these horses are considered excess baggage.
That is, unless you keep them under the seat in front of
Yes,
you. I
aren't they adorable? And these are horses. Perfect
They are
little
cute.
horses.
They're favorites of the viewers. I
Who's
think
that?
that's
Who is
Scott
that?
Baio, I think, is back us to us right now. Scott, wave this way. Oh, there he
You're
is.
absolutely right. It sure is. There he is.
I could just
Trying
watch them.
so
They're
hard.
fascinating, aren't they?
They're so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think she should walk a little slower.
yeah.
You know, earlier, if you're with us, we looked at award winners from last year's parade, and we have a lot of award winners to talk about in this parade as well. And here's the first of them. This is the winner of the Sweepstakes Trophy. That's for the most beautiful entry in the parade.
This is the one. This is the biggie.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
It is, in fact. It's called A Garden Full of Wonders, and it represents the 4th entry in the Rose Parade from the Carnation Company. This float features 6 gigantic butterflies representing 6 continents of the world, and they're all undergoing metamorphosis. I remember that word from high school. There are fuzzy caterpillars aboard, spinning themselves into sleepy cocoons, and of course becoming out of these magnificent butterflies. And of course it's from the Carnation Company, so it's decorated with a lot of, what do you think? Carnations.
Carnations.
Sure.
I was going to say ice cream.
No. There's a caterpillar. Ooh.
There. Oh, look at that. Look at the animation on that.
I've seen one of those on my tomatoes. Well, no wonder it's a trophy winner, huh?
Yes. Boy, I think everybody should, at some point in their lives, take a trip out here and see these things live, because they're beautiful. As beautiful as they are on television, they're even more magnificent in life, real life.
Every year they get bigger, and they do more of this kind of animation, you see. You know, you wonder as you watch a parade how they're going to top it next year, but they will.
Well, we're coming into the Queen. The Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association proudly presents its 98th Rose Queen, riding this morning with the members of her royal court.
I'm Queen Kristen Lee Harris from Arcadia High School.
Andrea Kathleen Milligan of Arcadia.
Alicia Roshan Smith of Pasadena.
Sandralee Waltrip of Arcadia.
I am Diane Carol Welch of Arcadia.
Jennifer Lynn Hayes of Temple City.
Mary Sandra Davis of San Gabriel.
They're a fine-looking group of gals, and all sweet ladies, too. I had a chance to meet them a little earlier, and they're tickled to be here, and we're tickled to have them.
Well, Pat, from our booth, I see a familiar face in today's crowd who's about to star in her own upcoming NBC comedy series, The Tortellis. Good morning, Jean Kasem.
Good morning, Marky, and good morning, Pat. And Happy New Year to you and probably the largest viewing audience in Rose Parade history. Some 350 million viewers today, some of whom I hope will tune into The Tortellis when we debut January 22nd, following Cheers. And when we return, the president of the Tournament of Roses Parade, and we'll see the world's largest and biggest hat tricks. Lord.
Welcome back. Happy 1987 to you all, and back we go to the 98th Tournament of Roses Parade, and it is band time. 250 students in this musical group, the Tournament of Roses Honor Band, wearing red and white military-style uniforms, accented, of course, with rose emblems. Their 57th consecutive parade appearance. They're selected from schools within the Pasadena Area Community College District. They're performing under the musical direction of James Arnwine.
To what?
Well, New Year's Day is being celebrated by children across the world in many ways, of course. One such approach is being celebrated on this next float by the city of Duarte, California, and the City of Hope National Medical Center, who both share one common goal, and that's enhancing the quality of life by promoting healthful living.
And to celebrate this, these happy children are getting ready to take a swing at a colorful piñata, probably hoping to get a share of the surprises inside. All part of this morning's International Fiesta.
Should we give away the secret we know about the piñata?
I don't think so.
All right, we won't tell.
Maybe later. We'll save it for later.
Call Marky at home. She'll tell you.
Oh, okay, Pat. We are back with another first in Rose Parade history. Let's hear it for the appearance of the American Donkey and Mule Society, led by Marshal Crystal Elzer. Do you know, Pat, that donkeys and mules played an important role in the building of our country?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Well, did you also know that they played an invaluable role in the excavation of the nearby Rose Bowl Stadium site in the 1920s? According to this society, 1987 marks the 200th year of the mule in America.
Well, I'll run out and get a card. I had no idea they played such a role.
Me neither.
Very nice. Actually, they're good-looking beasts, aren't they?
Actually, they are. They don't look too awfully stubborn.
We have another winner here. This is the winner of the President's Trophy. That's for Best Floral Presentation. And another deserved award, as you can see. Some very lucky children of the world are taking a magical carousel ride in this fun-filled circle of friends from the Atlantic Richfield Company. And boy, talk about things going on a float, huh? Boy, the kids have got to be having fun there. A lot of love. A specially designed friction drive system drives the merry-go-round, which carries members of the International Children's Choir riding on all sorts of animals from all over the world. And it seems to be functioning perfectly.
Yes. I think it would be quite an honor in the Rose Bowl Parade to get an award for the most effective floral presentation. I think that would be quite a thrill. Look at that.
A lot of carnations on that float. 25 varieties, they say.
My.
Now that's a good way to start a new year, huh? You ride on a float in front of hundreds of thousands of people in one of the great traditions in America.
Next comes a true flight of floral fantasy. The city of Burbank's 53rd Rose Parade entry features a group of pheasants from all around the globe. Okay, in front is a brown-eared pheasant from India, the second an Elliott pheasant from Asia, and two captured in flight are North American ring-necked pheasants.
I didn't know you knew that much about pheasants and mules.
I'm
seem
really
to be your
good with
specialty.
pheasants and mules. Burbank, listen, this Burbank is one of the few remaining cities which still builds its own float with completely volunteer labor of residents ranging in ages from 8 to 80 years old. I think there's a lot of Burbank people down there.
Yeah. Well, it's practically next door to Pasadena.
Yes.
And we'll be right back with more exciting parade coverage after our station's identified. Whittle.
Thank you, Pat. Happy New Year to all from my family and all the members of the Tournament of Roses who have worked so hard all year long. Today, an international rainbow of wonders is on parade here in Pasadena, and I hope that this glorious spectacle will bring people together in joy, peace, and harmony from our town to yours. Happy New Year.
Following Mr. President Sodwittle from Holland, Michigan is the 180-member Marching Dutchman Band. And here is 17-year-old student band member Heather Blockham.
Half of the members of the Holland High School Marching Dutchman Band and from the home of the Holland Tulip Time Festival, I am Heather Blockham wishing you a very happy New Year. And it is with pride that we march 5.5 miles in wooden shoes. Remember, say yes to Michigan.
And they are wearing wooden shoes. Looks like.
That would be cruel and unusual punishment.
It seems like it.
They really are. Oh.
Well, I hope they're wearing wooden socks. Maybe that will help cushion the blow.
Hope they're wearing pairs and pairs of socks. Oh, that's cute.
Well, we have another winner here. This is from the city of Arcadia for Best Achievement in Floats 35 feet and under in length, the Princess's Trophy. And we're saluting the world of magic here. Oh, look at the balloons are coming out, the rabbits coming out of the hat. This is another case where they had to be able to lower the float here to be able to get it to the parade side. There he goes.
The rabbit had to go. Oh my gosh, now I didn't know he could do that.
And down he goes. Just such magnificent work they do.
I'm really impressed with that. I think that's wonderful.
He's coming out later. That's really a 30-foot hat trick there.
Yes, sure is.
And we have some magicians hard at work there. I never did figure out how they did that. Miss Arcadia and her court, by the way, are also on board there. And Bunny's coming back.
Prancing down Colorado Boulevard comes the California Paso Fino group, marking their first entry in the Rose Parade. This unique breed of horse is the oldest in America, tracing its ancestry to the Spanish Janet horses. They're an easy-gaited breed, originally brought to America by Christopher Columbus on his second voyage from Spain. The group is being led by Marshal Charles Minter of Agua Dulce, California.
You ride, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Oh. Now, that's an easy gait.
Easy for you. Well, what Tournament of Roses would be complete without our traditional Big Ten Mr. Football? And before we see him, we're going to see some of those great University of Michigan cheerleaders there. They're obviously getting in a little pregame practice. Careful. Oh, nice. They're going to be cheering on their champion Wolverines in the ultimate challenge of collegiate football.
You used to do that, didn't you, Pat?
Oh, I still do. There's Mr. Football. And coming up now is Michigan's legendary coach, Bo Schembechler.
On behalf of the University of Michigan football team and our staff, I'd like to wish everyone out there a very happy 1987.
Obviously, we have a lot of folks from Michigan and surrounding areas
Yes,
joining
some
us
very
here.
happy people. Well, Pat, show me some cheerleaders, and I'll show you a band. All 225 members of the 1986 Michigan Marching Band, to be exact. This musical group was the first Big Ten band to perform in the Rose Bowl game in 1948 and has since appeared here 9 more times, rooting on their team to victory. They are performing under the musical direction of Eric Becker and Robert Reynolds.
Well, here we're celebrating the wonderful season of the melting of winter and the flowering of spring in this float by the Bakery, Confectionery, and Tobacco Workers Union. It's entitled Sweet Switzerland, Yum Yum. We have a gingerbread cottage here nestled in Swiss Alps, and there's the cottage. Now, the Alps are actually overturned ice cream cones. My kind of mountain climbing there. Now, you may recognize one fellow on this float. Because he is the legendary Mr. Blackwell. He's playing a Swiss yodeler. He's a fellow who does that worst dress list every year, right?
Yes.
He may make his own list this year.
Well, I don't know, but I'm dusting off my lederhosen, and I don't know about you.
A little joke, Mr. Blackwell. Don't take it out on us. Actually, few people know his first name is actually Mr.
Mr.
Yes.
Well, he looks dapper.
Yeah, he does. I wonder if you could eat a float. I would like to do that. That looks great.
It does. Don't miss a moment of the excitement. Just ahead, huge floats, bands, and magnificent horses right after this. In the Singapore Tourist Promotion Board comes the next spectacular entry featuring a beautiful festival pagoda which turns to display an illusion of dazzling array of bright lanterns twinkling at night with its 75 aircraft strobe lights.
It is quite a sight. Representatives of this nation's 3 dominant cultures, Chinese, Malay, and Indian, are standing there on 2 graceful bridges which lead to 2 giant lion dancers.
My.
Now, alongside here, we have some interesting goings-on. And there are some of the lovely ladies on board. There are men aboard, too. I tend to talk about the lovely ladies. I'm
That's
sorry.
perfectly all right.
I need to raise my consciousness. Now look at this, 42-foot poles this young man is carrying, and he's going to carry it along the entire parade route. When he gets tired, he just tosses it to somebody else.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah. It's apparently a major sport in Singapore.
Oh,
wow. Look at that.
That's dazzling.
A couple of nervous people in the crowd, but I think they're going to be all right.
It's amazing how the actual human live effort brings the real oohs and ahs from the crowd.
Yeah,
you know,
right,
and
exactly. Whoop.
anything can happen.
Next up, the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Posse, led by Marshal Stu Saffine. This, by the way, is the oldest sheriff's posse in California, still actively participating in search and rescue efforts around their county. They do a terrific job.
I come from that county, actually. I'm from Walnut Creek.
Oh.
So I'm going to claim these people as mine.
Well, sure, you have every right to be proud. 250 horses is about the total you'll be seeing ridden in this parade today. Actually, the Rose Equestrian Committee is among the most active in this whole enterprise here. They search for the best groups in the nation. They look for expertise in horsemanship and show performance, and obviously their guidelines were well served there.
What a thrill it would be to be chosen. This is an animated Chinese dragon, the ancient symbol of life and growth. It's the central focal point of this city of San Bernardino's entry festivals of fantasy. The dragon head sways from side to side as he tries to catch the ornate ceremonial balls that surround him. 4 San Bernardino beauty queens ride alongside a vast festival lantern, which is covered with strawflower, marigolds, and corn husks.
Yeah, and
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and honesty in reporting, we must tell you that they needed to be towed here.
They are being towed.
Had a little bit of a breakdown, but it doesn't.
Oh, they look so sad. Do you think that's because they're being towed?
No.
Well, you can't tell they're being towed. It's a beautiful float.
But it doesn't. That fact doesn't detract from the beauty at all.
Not a bit.
And he's doing his
I wonder
rocket.
if the fiber optics broke down, Pat.
Actually, he's on a spring there, so he can sort of float back and forth as the currents take him.
Right.
Well, here's another guy who's obviously going to enjoy 1987 with this new daytime comedy game show called Wordplay. No, Wordplay. Tom, I'm sorry, Tom. It's Wordplay. The lovely, the talented Tom Kennedy. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you, Pat, and to Marky. And I want to tell you, down here on street level is downright magical. I've been here before, but never like this. It's fantastic. I am very fortunate having a new show. If during the new year you are in for a few laughs along about midday, I'd like to suggest you turn in Wordplay. But in the meantime, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to wish all of you a very happy and prosperous New Year. And believe me, there'll be lots more parade action coming along right after this.
Nothing's missing.
I can't believe it.
Low salt premium saltines. They taste so good you can't believe they're low salt.
I can't tell the difference.
Due to a special baking process, low salt premium has 40% less salt.
But still has salt on top.
Yeah.
40% less salt and all that fresh, crispy premium taste.
Can I have some more?
Also try low salt Triscuit, low salt wheat thins, low salt Ritz. Your favorite great tasting crackers with less salt from Nabisco.
I'm not an actor. I'm just a guy.
Which is the newly elected mayor of Pasadena, John C. Crowley, and his family. This carriage decorated by Els and George Hasenberg. They traveled all the way from Holland every year to create the beautiful floral arrangements on this vehicle.
Marching to the traditional Japanese drum beat of Goshinjo Daiko is the leading marching youth band in Japan, the famous Noto Youth Band. Here's the band member, Mikiko Kamide.
My name is Michiko Kamide. We have traveled 6,000 miles from snowy Noto in Japan. Our band represents 6 junior and senior high schools. We are very happy to be in Pasadena, California to march in the Rose Parade.
Well, here comes a special treat for all the baseball fans among us. The city of Los Angeles paying special tribute to their pride and joy. Dodger Stadium, which this year celebrates its 25th anniversary. Why, there's
well, look who that is.
The skipper, manager Tom Lasorda. Oh, the newly trimmed manager Tom Lasorda. He's been pushing that linguine away there, yeah. Those floral pictographs there, actually I prefer to call them baseball cards, show us some great moments in Dodger Stadium history, such as the 63, 65, and 81 World Series. And on board, let's see, we have some other Dodger players. We'll see if we can recognize any of them. I don't know. That fella's not on the team.
Now we have another award winner here, Pat. Awarded to the most whimsical entry, presenting out of the ordinary display in floral presentation. The city of La Cañada gets the judge's special trophy. Cruising down Colorado Boulevard comes the La Cañada Flint Ridge Tournament of Roses entry, Friendship Afloat. It features a penguin, a pelican, and a flamingo paddling this ocean liner through deep sapphire waters. While visiting the wonders of the world, these 3 web-footed waterfowl set a truly humorous sight in their wonderful vacation clothing of sun hats, sunglasses, and cameras. While steaming down today's parade route, this mighty boulevard liner tows a totally laid-back baby penguin, basking under his umbrella and obviously enjoying this morning's crowd. I wouldn't mind seeing the parade that way myself.
Now, La Cañada Flint Ridge, pretty area, too.
That is very whimsical. That's adorable.
Well, now traveling over 15,000 miles from Amman, Jordan, to be with us today is the official band of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and its armed forces. The band's 140 members, who range in age from 18 to 50, perform under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Jamal Zuriakat. And although it's New Year's morning here in Pasadena, it's about 8 p.m. in Jordan. I guess that's Jordanian prime time we're on here. But due to the wonders of satellite television today, I'll tell you, this parade is being broadcast to more than 225 million viewers in at least 40 countries of the earth.
I've never associated bagpipes with Middle Eastern instruments.
We try to entertain as well as educate here. Proud-looking bunch.
Making their 6th Rose Parade appearance today comes the Martinez family equestrian unit led by trick roper Benny Martinez Jr., riding his Mustang horse Napoleon. Benny and Napoleon have made more than 1,300 personal appearances in recent years. The group is dressed in authentic charro costumes and are riding on handmade Mexican saddles.
You think Napoleon's getting annoyed? Enough with the rope already, he's saying. No, that's...
Wow.
That's very nice.
That's harder than hula hoop.
Another trophy winner. This is for the best characterization of the romance of California. It's the Pioneers Trophy, and it goes to the Southern California city of Santa Ana for their float celebrating their community's strong Hispanic heritage in this really spectacular presentation of Folklorico. On board, we have dancers dressed in native costumes from 4 different regions of Mexico, performing alongside the huge sculptured floral figures. And again, it's amazing how they get that human touch with those flowers. This Quetzal dancing survives from pre-Spanish conquest days and is dedicated to the 4 elements of earth, wind, fire, and what's the other one? Peanut butter.
Crazy
water.
glue, I think you said the other day.
Water, actually. Now, more than 1,000 community volunteers did the work on that over the past few days.
This next equestrian group represents the International Andalusian Horse Association. These handsome white and silver horses are a rare and ancient breed popular in Spain and Portugal and are descended from the immense white war horses ridden by Hannibal the Great many centuries ago. Nabisco Brands is proud to present with NBC the Tournament of Roses Parade, an NBC Nabisco Family Showcase presentation.
Coming up, it's called the Jewel of the Nile, and it's the entry from the city of Glendale, California. Celebrating the era of the great pharaohs, the 65-foot royal barge carries Glendale's tournament queen in royal court. That's a great ibex at the bow there, and there's the court and the queen, and they're looking good, and the helpers. Ibex is a great word for crossword.
Ibex?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Crossword puzzles.
Yes,
it's very good.
Later on today, 105,000 very excited football fans will be packed into the Rose Bowl Stadium. 5 young men and women of the Arizona State Sun Devil Marching Band, who today are marking their 15th anniversary by appearing here in the Rose Parade. While their coaches are praying for victory, this band is playing for victory today under the direction of band director Dr. Robert Fleming.
Well, Rand McNally and Company takes this morning's million-plus Rose Parade crowd on a trip back to the gallant age of chivalry as this most royal procession travels down Colorado Boulevard. We have 4 enormous horses there covered with over 200,000 white chrysanthemums, all decked out in elaborate trappings of roses and carnations as well. The battle armor of these giant steeds is decorated with silver leaf and eucalyptus and lettuce seed. It's a good thing Alf's not with us this morning. He'd probably think it's a giant salad bar. Did you detect the subtle plug for another NBC program? I'm sorry. It just slipped out, ladies.
Oh, Alf? You mean... From the city of Harlingen, Texas, located 30 miles from the Mexican border, come all 250 members of Harlingen High School's Big Red Cardinal Marching Band. The bands performed all over America, including the Cotton Bowl. Band director Larry Guilloma proudly leads this group in their second Rose Parade appearance. Uh-oh, that tune. I'm going to be humming that all day now.
That's right. That's the small world that you see it. Great job. What a logistic nightmare. You pack all the uniforms, you pack all the instruments, and you pack all the kids, and you come to Pasadena.
And then you've got to keep them together musically.
Yeah, they all sound great. One of the underlying themes for today's World of Wonders is international friendship. And here to prove this is the City of Alhambra float entitled City to City Friendship, honoring its 2 international sister cities, Granada, Spain, and Shuswang, Taiwan. Now, at the front of the float, representing Granada, is the Fountain of the Lion. And at the rear, you'll be seeing, representing Shuswang, a replica of the Welcome Gates of Taiwan. And the bridge linking these 2 cities represents Alhambra. It all makes sense. By the way, Alhambra marks its 56th entry into the Rose Parade. And we see Miss Alhambra aboard and her royal court, as well as visiting representatives from Spain and Taiwan. So a very international presentation here.
Yes, it is.
And they've all learned the parade trick wave, which is to wave without wearing yourself out there.
That's
so
right,
you can keep it up for the whole parade.
I think it's the smile that hurts even more than the wave.
Yeah, but they're doing great.
Oh, here comes a perennial favorite among parade viewers, marking his 33rd Rose Parade appearance today is newsman George Putnam, with his riders mounted on splendid palominos and American quarter horses, all decked out in silver saddles and tack. You know, Pat, some of these antique silver saddles we're seeing today are estimated to be worth over $100,000.
Wow. George always has a great time at these.
Yes, he does.
He's one of the legends here in Southern California. Float time again. From Bank of America comes the next entry celebrating nature's majesty. This royal float reminds all of us of the increasing need for the worldwide protection and preservation of the Earth's wilderness areas. One of our planet's rarer creatures looking great there, the Bengal tiger and her cubs frolic in an exotic jungle. And they have a new method this year where they have flexible skin, kind of, on these moving creatures, which allow them to move without any visible mechanical joints, so the tails and necks can move around. Isn't that gorgeous?
Boy, and it is a smooth movement too. It isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't jerky.
Orange and yellow marigolds create those tigers there. A lot of carnations on board too.
Outstanding marching bands have always set the pace for the Rose Parade, and this next group from Forest Lake, Minnesota is no exception. Here, marking their first Tournament of Roses parade, are all 220 members of the Forest Lake High School Band, led by musical director Richard L. Hahn.
No one is missing a step. I'm impressed.
No. That's why they were selected.
Oh, I see.
Do not miss the excitement ahead, all here on NBC. Prehistoric monsters, special guests, and a salute to King Kong right after this.
The county adoption agencies everywhere. Happy New Year to America.
Thank you, Gregory. Well, now this particular float has seaweed on it, Pat.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that the same as kelp? I don't know.
I imagine it is, yes.
know.
The same thing you eat in sushi bars, I think, too.
I have a taste for some kelp now that we bring it up. The Portland Rose Festival invites parade viewers of all ages to remember the wonders of childhood with this magical Renaissance house. This majestic steed carries members of the International Children's Choir and Portland's 1986 Rose Queen Claudia Reimer along for the ride. By the way, you know, the rose is now the official floral emblem of the United States.
That's right, it is.
Yes.
Oh, continuing one of the Rose Parade's best-loved musical traditions is the Salvation Army Tournament of Roses Band, making its 67th appearance here today. This year's band includes visiting international musicians from countries all over the world in which the Salvation Army works, and they're under the direction of Barry Gott.
Did you see that menacing face there? The community of Irvine, California's first Rose Parade entry takes us back millions of years to a world of prehistoric wonders that we'll never see again unless it's on another float. Here, a fierce Tyrannosaurus Rex is on board. Let's see if I recognize some of the other creatures there. I saw a spiny Stegosaurus, a gigantic Brontosaurus, and all sorts of other sauruses. That's a pterodactyl up front there, flying along. Saber-toothed cat.
Is this the float that has the oranges on it and
yeah,
the potatoes?
There's a lot of fruit and vegetables
yes,
decorated.
There's actually potatoes to get that sort of, I mean, whole potatoes stuck into the, I wish they could get a shot of that, because, and oranges on that front one there.
Yeah, we saw
is
some
whole,
oranges a little
whole
earlier,
oranges,
yeah.
yes. Anything that grows in the ground or on a tree, I think, qualifies for these floats.
Well, down among today's parade viewers is an old NBC friend, star of Stingray, Nick Mancuso. Morning, Nick. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Pat. Happy New Year, Marky. It's a great parade.
Yes, it is.
We're going to be coming back right after these messages, and stay tuned for more of the parade.
Animation trophy. What a crowd favorite. That is King Kong, billed by his sponsor, the American Honda Motor Company, as the 8th wonder of the world. Wow, that's a real person.
That is a brave young lady.
Do we know who that is? We should give her
We know who that is, and I love her name, especially under the circumstances. Her name is Karen Tremble.
I understand she can control some of the movements there.
Yeah, I think she can control the movement of the hands. She's doing a great job. What a float.
Now, she has a tough job. She has to scream for the entire parade route. There's King Kong over the ruins of the city there. 1,000 pounds of cocoa palm fiber make up the gorilla hair there, which they had to comb out.
They combed it out. King Kong is probably used to a little help from this next entry, Abracadabra, the city of South Pasadena's 16-foot magician who is mystifying our Rose Parade audience with his amazing sleight of hand tricks. This entry will be featuring hundreds of live homing pigeons, which are released by this modern-day Houdini, filling the Pasadena skies as he makes his way down the parade route. Incidentally, Pat, this is another example of a fine float entry which was constructed, decorated, and funded entirely by volunteers. And they should be proud. Now let's talk about these homing pigeons.
Yeah, now they're letting homing pigeons go, and we're told that the homing pigeons will be able to find their way back even if the float moves down the parade.
Yeah,
we're talking smart pigeons there. Well, back now to continue one of the Rose Parade's longest-standing musical traditions is the composite United States Marine Corps Marching Band, making their 38th appearance here this morning. Always a favorite of audiences everywhere, this 100-member group is made up of musicians from the Marine Corps bands at San Diego, Camp Pendleton, and El Toro, California. Today, the band is being led by music director Major H.E. Whitney Jr. Let's listen.
Another award winner here, and it's really especially nice because it's Giorgio's very first entry into the Rose Parade. This is the Grand Marshal's Trophy. It recognizes the excellence of the creative design, With this entry, Giorgio of Beverly Hills celebrates their 25th anniversary by turning a world of wonders into a world of elegance, creating this breathtaking scene of continental splendor in their first Rose Parade appearance today. Spectacular floral statues and enormous 23-foot-high fountains, reminiscent of the fountains of Apollo at the Palace of Versailles, provide an excellent showcase for these beautiful models wearing one-of-a-kind gowns designed by some of the most famous, celebrated fashion designers in the world today. And look at that.
Nabisco Brands wishes you, and I quote here, a healthy and happy new year. This Nabisco Family Showcase will continue in a moment.
The finer.
Here's one of the world's rarest and most enduring of all wonders, pandas from China. Presented by the First Interstate Bank, this adorable mother panda and baby swing back and forth under an ornate pagoda-style roof, while other pandas play among colorful Chinese urns and lanterns. In all, over 75,000 carnations and over 800 pounds of black onion seeds were used to create these beautiful creatures. Black onion seeds are used for almost all the black detail, I think, on these floats. It's very interesting.
Well, we have more beautiful creatures coming up here among the noble equestrian units here today. Perhaps some of the best-known breeds we'll be seeing are these prancing Arabians, known for their intelligence and endurance. They are smart horses, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Marshal Bill Stack is there, by the way, of Lomita, California.
All the wonder and magic of Scheherazad's Tale of 1001 Nights is brought to life by Fan Steel's elaborate float, appropriately titled A Fantasy of Wondrous Flight. Here, magical flying carpets soar over the mystical streets and courtyards of an old Baghdad on a hidden roller coaster track. Riding on the float are various characters from the Arabian Nights, including the Caliph and the fabled storyteller herself, Scheherazade. Oh, look at him go.
I want one of those.
There
the
she
blanket.
is.
The blanket. I was talking about the blanket. Now riding into view is an Indian equestrian group led by a marshal who's well known to many of us. He is actor Iron Eyes Cody. And there's Iron Eyes, all dressed in traditional attire. Well, that's not Iron. That looks like Buffalo Bill. All the members of this illustrious Indian group have associated themselves with worthwhile charities and schools for runaway and battered children.
Next comes a very dramatic-looking float with a truly international flair. International House of Pancakes all around all the world's the stage. Excuse me. This entry salutes the contributions of the theater to our world's history and mankind's cultural development. A dazzling theater stage turns to reveal scenes from two of the world's best-loved musicals, Fiddler on the Roof and The King and I, with 8 children portraying the actors on the stage. Let's see if we can hear some of it. Yeah, I want
can
you
tell
to tell us about some flowers.
well, these are easy names for me. We have a lot of orchids on board, gladiola and carnation petals, and of course roses. You'd have to have roses, gee.
At each side of the stage are large floral sculptured masks representing an Oriental girl and a European clown. This is the first time I've ever gotten front row seats to either of these two great musicals, Pat.
You know, it's fun watching this parade, but it must be really exciting to be actually riding in one of them, huh?
You know it.
Well, great bands, marvelous horses, and spectacular floats. You can see them all right here on NBC, and we'll be right back.
Go to Florida. The band's 280 members are wearing bright jackets and dress McDonald tartans, in honor of their community's Scottish founders. Oh, that's quite regalia there. That's really nice. I'm very partial to all things Scottish myself.
I don't know if I could wear a kilt.
I think you could.
It's just cultural. I'm sure I could if I were used to it.
I love bagpipes.
It's interesting that we've heard two bagpipe groups, one from Scotland
Jordan,
and one
I
from
think.
Jordan.
That's right. My dad tried to learn to play the bagpipes. We got him a starter pipe. It's without the bags. It was horrendous. It's a very hard instrument to play.
I love
Very
bagpipes, but
difficult.
I would say that bad bagpipe playing would probably be the worst.
Worse than violin.
Yeah.
Worse than bad violin.
Learning to play
I think.
must be a
Yes.
torture.
So you know these young people are very good if they're here.
And there you go. There are many ways to march in a parade.
That's right. Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Oh boy. This is a winner. This is the theme trophy winner. And it's from the Baskin-Robbins Ice Cream Company. And of course, that's Nessie, Scotland's famous Loch Ness monster. Now, when Nessie gets up there, as she will, and we hope we get to see that, but she will be 40 feet in the air, high over the head of the spectators. And you'll have to trust me on that, folks. But it's nice that she can get down to crowd level, too, and have a
Oh,
look
come
at what's
on.
going on.
Yes, this is, actually, isn't this the longest float? I think it's either one of the longest or the longest, 95
It's among them,
feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And children aboard dressed in Scottish
Well, they're
garb.
propelling the float.
Is that what they're doing? I
It's their people power.
see. Look out.
Oh.
Close call.
Aw. Friendly sort.
Yeah. Imagine being run over by the Loch Ness Monster. How do you explain that to your insurance agents?
Oh, I hope he can go up for us. It's really spectacular.
Come on, Nessie. Up, girl. Is Nessie a girl? I don't know.
This one is.
No. She doesn't look so mean. 200,000 blossoms are aboard this float. Carnations, camellias, roses, lilies, iris, on and on and on here.
It says here, Nessie's eyes sparkle with seaweed.
Only in a parade will you ever use that line.
Ever again.
The lashes, by the way, are hyacinth roots. So
Every
there.
single detail, every single covered surface on every float has to be some organic substance grown somewhere in this world.
That's right. And they've come from all over the world,
Yes,
too.
they have. There were ones that came in from Malaysia, I think.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to stay with Nessie a little bit here and,
Yeah,
and
let's
hope that she
build the
goes
tension
up.
here
Yeah,
about
I don't know whether
elevating Nessie's head up.
I think she's having a good
some
time looking at the
48 feet.
folks, yeah.
Well, she's afraid she's going to lose her close-up if she gets too far up. But we've got a crane shot. Nessie, come on. Uh-oh, is she making a move?
The 98th Tournament of Roses Parade has been the first in a series of Nabisco Family Showcase presentations we'll be bringing you throughout the year.
Well done, but back to Nessie.
Yes, they are
You know their
magnificent.
blankets are
animals.
made of floral petals, too?
I'm telling you, everything.
Boy, they are so beautiful.
Now, also on board, of course, we have the Scottish dancers. And we also have a Clydesdale actually riding on the float. There he is, a little
baby,
guy.
yes.
A mere 600 pounds, just a tot.
Oh. I want to see his feet.
Those are members, by the way, of the Tartan McDonald clan who are dancing there in their traditional costumes. By the way, something never seen in this parade before, Royal Stuart plaid horses lining the base of the entry. Those are roses, not
Plaid
horses.
roses, right.
You have a plaid horse, you're in real trouble.
Next, riding in proud royal fashion are 6 members of the Queen's own Royal Hussars, led by the unit leader Major J.E.R. Bulkeley. Excuse me, J.E.R. Members of the ceremonial mounted British Army unit have flown in from places as far away as London and Frankfurt, West Germany, to be here with us this morning.
This is great, and of course it's an award winner, the Governor's Trophy for the best city entry, and the city is Torrance, California, and we're saluting the British here. Bully for the British. The customs and cultures are a major role in world history, and there we have, standing proudly 24 feet tall, this friendly British bulldog with a costume from the Royal English Cavalry. Well, the way they've done this, they've built this whole thing on a giant lumber carrier, and the engine and the driver are 10 feet above street level. So
wow,
he's doing a fine job, he or she, whoever's driving down there.
I'm really knocked out by this one. I think this one is so adorable.
Mostly dried mums on this float, by the way.
I guess because of the color, they needed the dark brownish. A newcomer to this year's parade, the equestrian team of 13 horses and 3 trumpeters, comes from the medieval times dining and jousting tournament complex in Buena Park, California. Dressed in period medieval costumes, this royal-looking group is led by Marshal Andres Galabart. I understand this is a place where you can go watch jousting and eat and throw bones and things over your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm tired of doing that at home. And now sailing down Colorado Boulevard comes Occidental College's Centennial Ship of Learning, a vessel which is seemingly built on oversized tools of education. We have books and classics from academic disciplines making up the hull of the ship. And there's a huge paintbrush which forms the mast there. We have floral musical instruments, pens, a podium, sports equipment, and drafting instruments. There's also a computer which you're going to see which is flashing Happy New Year World in the 8 foreign languages currently taught at the college. There you go. The languages, of course, as you recognize, are English and 7 others.
Let's see, gladiola petals, seaweed again, poppy seeds, mums, roses, marigolds, carnation petals, clover seeds, palm bark, and orchids.
By the way, the last time this college entered the parade was 1925 with a flatbed truck full of flowers and a caged tiger. So they've come a long way since then.
Yes, they sure have.
I've said that often.
Here we have another award winner. This award is presented for excellence of craftsmanship, the FTD Association Director's Trophy. You ever wonder what FTD stood for, Pat?
Hardly a day goes by where I don't wonder that.
Well, the Florist Trans World Delivery Association has dramatically recreated one of the original 7 wonders of the world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. And looking at this float today, it's no wonder these gardens were considered the most beautiful in the world. Cascading from ornate oval tiers are luxurious terraces of anthurium, roses, and dendrobium orchids. I said it. While graceful reed boats laden with flowers glide through lagoons of exotic water lilies. I hope everyone at home is watching this in color, Pat. It is just beautiful.
Well, if they're not, they can call Ted Turner and he can do something about it, I'm sure. Little humor there.
Little. Oh.
And again, what is a parade without kids, huh? They make up a large part of the people populating the floats, and they're having a great time. And I'm just amazed by the sculpture work that they do on the faces. And then, of course, they have to cover it with the flowers and the seeds. Well, this is exciting for this group because it's their debut Rose Parade appearance. The 270-member Boardman High School Spartan Marching Band from Boardman, Ohio. Their director is Thomas A. Groot. Well, even though you'd think they'd know who they are by now, we still have to pause for our stations to identify themselves.
Saturday night's a scream when the facts...
Who won the award for the most humorous presentation. Dr. Pepper's 27th consecutive entry is the 65-foot inchworm, all set to travel the world. But it may take him 80 years to complete the journey at today's parade pace of 2.5 miles per hour. Fully equipped with road map, travel bag, road cap, and goggles, this inchworm's 6 arms and legs propel him slowly but surely eastward along Colorado Boulevard. This sure-footed entry is created with silver leaf, white, yellow, and red mums. And look at this! Home for this 160-member Raider marching band is Stevens High School, Rapid City, South Dakota. This fine band has won top awards around the country and was recently awarded the prestigious Sudler Flag of Honor by the John Philip Sousa Foundation. And that's quite an award for a parade band, the John Philip Sousa Foundation. Directors Milo Winter and Stan Hansen lead this group in its first Rose Parade appearance. Congratulations.
Good morning. I'm Ted Johnson, drum major of the Rapid City Stevens High School Band. From the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota, we wish you all a safe and happy New Year.
Nice outfits. I like those.
Yeah.
Today, the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elk salute the children of all nations, the true wonders of the world, with this charming entry featuring the figures of 15 children representing countries from around the world. You can try to pick out where they're from. Each is created with roses, iris, orchids, ginger, and tulips. And each child is surrounded by some of the international landmarks as Big Ben, the Eiffel Tower, the Taj Mahal, and other such items. Sponsors of this float have raised over $600 million in their 118-year history to support a multitude of charities, many of which are concentrated on young people. They do a lot of terrific work, and that's a terrific float, too.
Yes, it is, and they sure are. Today, Marshal Isabel Fetterman marks her 22nd year of Rose Parade participation as she leads riders of the Fetterman and Tanner group, dressed in colorful Western attire, riding beautiful Appaloosa mounts. Those are about as Appaloosa as you can get. Wow.
Next up, the host city for the 1988 Winter Olympics, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, salutes Winter Wonderland. And riding high above this dramatic setting in a bobsled are Heidi and Howdy. They are the official mascots of the Winter Games. You'll be seeing a lot of them over the coming year or so. Here, wooden toy figures participate in the 9 official sports of those Winter Olympics, and they are, in case you're wondering, bobsled, speed skating, figure skating, ice hockey, ski jumping, biathlon, cross-country skiing, alpine skiing, and the ever-popular luge. And I guess they use mostly white mums and carnations on that float. Makes sense with snow.
Yes.
Heidi and Howdy.
We recently saw this famous band marching in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Here's the McDonald's All-American High School Band made up of 104 high school students, 2 selected from each state of the Union and Washington, D.C., and 1 each representing the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Each band member is wearing their own high school uniforms under those yellow, red, and blue vests. They're making their 18th consecutive Rose Parade appearance here this morning under the musical supervision of Dr. William Foster.
We will return to all the festivities of the 1987 Tournament of Roses Parade right after this. That's awarded for the most beautiful entry from outside the territorial limits of the United States. And it goes to this beauty as we move across the vast Pacific to the wonders of ancient China, where China Airlines presents this dramatic entry called Dynasty. 8 ribbon dancers are leading the way with vast columns on the float decorated with ornate dragons, which are symbolic of strength and majesty, they tell me. There's an enormous figure of the phoenix, an ancient symbol of grace and beauty in Chinese legend, and that's covered with mums and poinsettias and birds of paradise. And the beautiful young ladies, by the way, are flight attendants who are relaxing on their day off.
Hardly relaxing. They're having fun, though, I'm sure. Now, here is a living tradition that's nearly as old as the Rose Parade itself. Monty Montana's equestrian group from Canyon Country, California. Monty and his horse Rex made their first appearance here way back in 1925. That's his 9th horse named Rex. You see here today, the one you see here today is his 9th horse named Rex. One of Monty's riders, Trudy Young, taught me how to trick ride for a television special I was in last year. Hello, Trudy, and hello, Monty. He is just wonderful.
And here comes the anniversary trophy winner. That's for Best Display of Life in the USA. And this year, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants celebrates the 100th anniversary of the accounting profession. Let me add that up here. Yes, 100. That's the accounting profession in America, this ruggedly handsome tribute to New World discovery. And here to tell us about it is the chairman of the AICPA, J. Michael Cook.
On behalf of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, our 250,000 members in business, public practice, government, and education. As we celebrate the centennial year of the CPA profession in the United States, we wish you a happy and prosperous new year.
This, I think they use a lot of cinnamon on this float.
Yeah, they smell very nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's this mousse. Yes, I think they do have. They have cherry tomatoes on this float.
You keep mentioning the food that they have. Can we get something for this woman to eat here? Marky's hungry.
I just think that's amazing.
That's a real face.
This
could
is
not
the one
have
with
made
the
that.
Idaho. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
The Idaho potatoes serve as river pebbles.
Okay.
Okay.
You want some fries?
I'm off it now. Oh, now here's a fun float, Pat. Sporting an enormous 35-foot tall jack-in-the-box, which you will see soon as its focal point, is the wonderful world of Puerto Rico, filled with vacation magic and decorated with scenes of Puerto Rico. It's on its way. I hear it's coming around the corner.
Well, they're winding up the box.
There it is. There it is. Well, it's up and now it's coming down. Surrounded by sculptured Maga hibiscus, the territory's official flower. Popping out of the box in a surprise New Year's greeting is a lovely animated senorita. 2 colorful dancers created with carnations, orchids, and status follow closely behind.
Here's a pop quiz. What is Puerto Rico's official flower?
Maga hibiscus.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now let's see if we can get her out of the box. Nobody's winding the thing. I think that, don't you have to do that?
She's in there with Nessie, I think. Here she comes.
There she comes.
You get the theme music behind that? From West Side Story.
Oh, yeah.
Very cute, very cute. Oh, that's amazing.
You know, with as much animation as there has been, it's just amazing how flawlessly everything has functioned here.
You know it, you know it.
And some of the lovely ladies. And some very tall ladies there. Yeah, now they're following behind the float there, these colorful dancers. They are created with carnations, orchids, status, and real people, too, in there, I should point out. I don't do it. I wonder how they do it. I guess there's a car under there.
There must be a little golf cart or something.
Very tall women in roller skates.
We're back with the world-class Quadrille de Mujeres Equestria equestrian group made up of 19 women riders ranging in age from 20 to 60. These volunteer riders mounted on perfectly matched quarter horses come from a myriad of backgrounds. I understand there's everything from farmers to executives here in this group, Pat, held together by their love of drill horses. I don't know which one she is, but this group is led by Shirley Ann Hartman, Marshal Shirley Ann Hartman for today. More of our Rose Parade coverage coming up after this.
A great headdress she is wearing is shimmering with golden patterns of rare and exotic orchids never before seen in the parade, so a first for us here. And there are lovely Malaysian ladies on board standing beneath a towering pagoda-style roof, while a native family of orangutans is going to be coming up in back. They are back there along with a beautiful horn-billed toucan. there they are. We've seen a few butterflies in the parade, and boy, that's a nice thing to have to decorate with flowers, isn't it?
Yes.
Just go wild with colors there.
Yes. I can't get over her motion. It is, you're so right, it's so graceful. And now marching smartly into view from Rocky Mount, North Carolina comes all 160 members of the Rocky Mount Senior High School Marching Band in their first Rose Parade performance. And here's band member Anna Martinez.
Hello, my name is Anna Martinez, and I'm proud to represent the state of North Carolina in the Tournament of Roses Parade. I would like to wish you a Happy New Year from the Rocky Mount Senior High School Marching Band.
We have a winner. Tournament special trophy goes to this float. This, by the way, is awarded for exceptional merit, not recognized in any other category. Eastman Kodak presents this here, the Oriental Dragon King, legendary serpent ruler of the deep Pacific. Ooh. Dragon swings his fearsome head from side to side as animated ocean waves roll toward the cliffs below. It's kind of mean looking, isn't it? In a nice way.
Yes, in a parade sort of way.
Yeah.
Ooh, my.
Smoking.
It's on fire.
I recognize a lady up front there. That is Leslie Kim
1981.
Kawai from 1981, the Rose Queen from that year. Looking lovely as ever. I like him. His body, by the way, is created with orange and red roses and marigolds and mums. Well, I believe in dragons. I don't care what anybody says.
Me too. Riding handsome Paso Fino horses comes the Stuart Hamblin family from Canyon Country, California, in their 7th Rose Parade appearance. Dressed in traditional Peruvian gaucho attire, 3 generations are represented in this colorful family equestrian group. That would be a grandfather, a father, and a son. Or the female equivalent.
Yeah, I think I understand. Lowry Foods, Inc. celebrates its 15th consecutive year of participation in the Tournament of Roses Parade with this fanciful float entry, The Romance of Italy. And a couple of special guests on board, the Voyager crew, Dick Rutan and Gina Yeager. They've had quite a few weeks, haven't they?
Boy, they sure have.
Nice to have them along and getting a lot of reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
Those parasols, they're beautiful. And they're rotating there where you can see their designs of orchids and roses and marigolds.
Oh, they're receiving a standing ovation. That's just wonderful. And they deserve it. Isn't that something?
This is probably an easier ride than the
Yeah, I was going
Voyager
to say,
ride.
it's a little slower, too. I'm not used to being earthbound. And here, riding proudly down Colorado Boulevard, comes the White Horse Group, smartly dressed in Western style and period costumes of the late 1800s, led by Marshal Richard Sauco of Saugus, California.
This Farmers Insurance Group's 27th Rose Parade entry is a really spectacular recreation of the internationally famous Mississippi River Delta Queen Showboat, one of the last 2 passenger-carrying riverboats left in America. And at the wheel is a fellow who's used to being there, Commodore Harold D. Marrero, a 5th-generation steamboat captain who has been in command of the real Delta Queen for 52 years, if you can believe it. Among the passengers, there's the Commodore. Also on board, by the way, Missouri Governor John Ashcroft and his family. I believe there they are. And we have some Dixieland bands there and 25 live performers. So there is a lot going on that float, let me tell you.
Say. Oh, boy, they're coming fast and furious. Today, Pepperdine University celebrates their 50th anniversary with its first Rose Parade entry, a tribute to the mysterious long-lost civilization of Atlantis. More than 9,000 pounds of flowers were used to create this 65-foot underwater vision, featuring graceful figures reminiscent of the ancient Greek maidens supporting balustrades covered with cascading flowers. Floral waves of water swirl around the detailed ocean life, and timeless submerged ruins created out of carnation petals, chrysanthemums, and protea. 6 university students costumed in classic white gowns accompany this absolutely gorgeous entry. And there they are.
All underwater.
We'll return to the 98 Tournament of Roses Parade in Pasadena, California in just a minute.
Presents their 8th Rose Parade entry, presenting scenes of 3 third world countries where this organization's projects are bringing new hope. Now, featured here is a floral framework of chrysanthemums, corn husk, and roses, which surround different scenes. Seen from Guatemalan jungles, where the fight against polio continues, experimental fish farms in the Philippines, and an Ethiopian desertscape, where efforts to dig new wells and purify existing water supplies is underway. More than 1 million Rotarians in more than 160 countries currently support these worthwhile projects. Well, it's movie-making time. Culver City presents a setting from the original picture Tarzan, complete with exotic jungles, African wildlife, and guess what? Tarzan is on board, swinging his way. Is he going to do a rope? Well, I hope so. We'll find out in a moment. But
there he goes.
There he goes. Whoa. Oh, no wonder he went over there. By the way, I hate to disappoint people, but most of the Tarzan films were not done in deepest Africa. They were done at movie studios in Culver City, so sorry. But there's all the jungle friends.
Oh, there he goes.
By the way, the young man there, Scott, the young lad playing Boy, is the son of famed float builder Rick Chapman.
.282 students from Big Sky, Hellgate, and Sentinel High Schools in Missoula, Montana make up this Missoula High School marching band, which is so large, Pat, it requires 3 band directors. Leading the band in its second Rose Parade appearance are Frederick Nelson, Richard Erickson, and John Combs.
And now this.
Nabisco Family Showcase has sponsored the 98th Tournament of Roses Parade on NBC.
Well, this certainly has been a world of wonderful parade here in Pasadena, Pat.
World of wonderful, little play on words there. It really has been, but don't forget the day is young. We still have the Rose Bowl coming up this afternoon.
Thank you so much for letting me share in all this fun this morning.
It has been my pleasure. It's been nice
Happy
working with
New
you.
Year.
So, with the best wishes from all of us here at NBC to all of our viewers around the world who now have to remember to write 1987 on their checks, Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year.